Right now, I'm in the woods and I'm, with someone, a good friend that I've known for a few years now, and he's been one of the most understanding, accepting people about my trans identity. In fact, as soon as I came out to you, you were really chill about it. Why is that?
Well, I think it's partly because of how I was raised, growing up
In
in
Kansas?
Kansas, a liberal college town,
Yeah.
pretty progressive parents. From the time I was a really young kid, I was raised with some awareness of,
Of trans people, for real?
yeah, well, I remember my mom telling me boys can turn into girls and girls can turn into boys, and that just happens sometimes. I remember that from when I was probably 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah, because you were completely unfazed when I told you, and right away, like even before I told you, could you feel that I was very sort of had more of a male identity? Could you feel that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I didn't realize you were trans
Right.
before you told me, but you know.
Because it's not something you can really tell just by looking, right?
Yeah,
There's a
no,
lot
you
of
can't.
expression out there.
Not usually, anyway.
Yeah.
But at least I can't.
So now, do you think of me as a normal male friend, or is there something like a little different? How would you explain that?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah, and just think about it.
Well, I guess I have friends who are kind of, of my male friends, there's kind of a range of maleness within the males, so I don't know if there is really such a thing as a normal. I mean, I guess you haven't been socialized as a male for your whole life, so maybe, I feel that there's kind of something different there.
Yeah.
But yeah, especially lately, I definitely think of you as one of the guys.
Yeah. Yeah, the more comfortable kind of you come out as transgendered or just being one of the guys or a man or whatever, it seems like the more natural it feels for everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think some people are so closed-minded about the whole thing? Like, what is it? Why is it that some people just can't go there with their minds?
Well, maybe, I mean, I imagine a lot of it's just about what they've been exposed to, the environment they're coming from, the attitudes they've been raised with. And for people who, I was really lucky to be raised by such an open-minded environment, but for people coming from other places...
So it just takes time to sink into.
I think so. If you're not used to the idea, it's kind of a, maybe kind of a strange idea to some people that you can change your gender or that anyone would be unhappy. To people who are happy with the gender they're born with, maybe, and they're not exposed to it, it's a strange idea.
Do you spend much time thinking about, like, what makes me a man? Or, that's so weird that I'm a guy. Like, do you think about that at all? Or are some of these gender questions kind of boring to you?
No, they're not boring, and it's something I've thought about a lot, for most of my adult life, if not all my life. It's an interesting balance, We're, in our culture, we're given a model of masculinity that's often unhealthy and, it can be a really negative thing, the traditional mythology of what being a man means. So, it's an interesting balance between rejecting the bad parts of the male story, but also like loving myself as a man, accepting myself as a man, and, being in touch with the good things about being a man and really embracing that. Interesting. We live in this environment where there are all these xenoestrogens, exogenous estrogens, and our testosterone, which men need to have healthy bodies, healthy prostate. That's kind of threatened by environmental pollution. So it's important for us men to do things to keep healthy testosterone around, and to that's really a good thing and an essential thing for being a man.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So oddly enough, for all the macho posturing that goes on, we live in a world where on a chemical level it's a little bit hard to be a man.